Peace and blessings. Welcome back to the channel once again, where we talk all things health and healing from a holistic perspective. And today will be no different. Today, we're going to talk about the 10 signs that your sweet tooth is killing your health. Now, I know that sweets are the socially accepted addiction. It's the one thing that we can get away with in a society that nobody will judge us for. But it's unfortunate that sweet tooth is probably at the center of why a lot of the diseases that didn't exist 50, 60 years ago are very prevalent today. Okay, so I'm gonna break this down, give you 10 signs that your sweet tooth is killing your health. Because again, I know people love the chocolate, they love the sugary drinks, they love the cookies, the candies, the ice cream, the etc. And so I want to explain to you why I want to explain to you first why this socially accepted addiction is not only creating dis-ease in your body, but also creating dis-ease generationally. And secondarily, I think it's really important to understand that people think that all sugar is created equal. All sugar is not created equal. I have an entire chapter in my book, Vegetation Over Medication, that I dedicated to talking about sugar. There's over 50 to 75 different names for sugar when you put them in products. So when you're looking at sugars on the label, most of the sugar, you don't even know what it is because you don't understand what the name is. The other thing that's really important is comparing the sugar that is in fruit to comparing the sugar that is in cookies, cakes, candies, pies, ice cream is totally different. The sugar that is in fruit is natural, but in addition to that, that sugar is bound to fiber, which blunts the effect of the sugar. So not all sugar is created equal, okay? So when I talk about sugar, that sugar includes, the little white crystals that we know as sugar, but it's also important to know it includes breads, pastas, pizzas, all those things that we love to indulge in, that ultimately lead to that sweet tooth, okay? So sometimes your craving gets satisfied by pasta, by bread. You understand? So sometimes people will say, I don't have a sweet tooth, but they love bread and they love pasta. They love pizza. They love anything that has white flour in it, okay? And on average, we consume around about 150 pounds of sugar every year and around about 135 pounds of white flour every year. So you add those two up, we're almost consuming 300 pounds of sugar every year. And so it helps you understand why this is a big issue. So it's really important to be able to see the whole picture around what the sweet tooth is, because it's not just the sweet stuff, okay? And so the last thing I'll say before we get into these signs is that the worst cravings that you get, the worst are at night. Those are the worst cravings. And here's why. I've said this in other videos, but the freaks come out at night. Okay, so the parasites, they wake up at night. The candida wakes up at night. Okay, and that's what makes you want to have something sweet before you go to bed. That's what makes you want to drink something sweet before you go to bed. It's the parasites and the yeast that is waking up in your body, that's controlling you through your taste buds. All right, so let's get into it. I'm going to give you 10 today. All right, 10 signs that your sweet tooth is killing your health. And I'll give you a little bonus at the end, okay? Number one, first sign is chronic inflammation and joint pain. When you are having inflammation all the time and joint pain all the time, not just in one joint, not just on one side, that is an indication that you have a systemic issue, okay? Not an issue with that particular knee, although it could be one knee. But when you start to feel it in the right knee and then the left ankle and then the shoulder and then the neck, then you know you have a systemic issue, and it could be that you're eating and consuming too much sugar, okay? Especially, again, when it's a chronic issue, not because you worked out that day, but also it's important to know that if you eat too much sugar, you won't recover, okay? It'll take a longer time to recover as well, too, all right? The number two sign that your sweet tooth is probably killing you and your health is a fatty liver disease. fatty liver disease used to be a disease that was specific to only alcoholics, okay? And fatty liver disease is when the tissue of the liver, which is the master detoxification organ, starts to get so riddled with so much fat that it becomes dysfunctional, and then it eventually becomes cirrhosis. Okay, it gets this cirrhosis or this fibrosis, or the tissue itself becomes very hardened. Okay, so fatty liver disease, because a lot of the sugar, what most people don't know about excess sugar in the body, a lot of it is stored in the form of glycogen by the liver. Okay, and as the body is constantly, storing this sugar eventually becomes fat tissue inside of the liver because it's too much. And the muscles just have decided to say, no, you can't put it here anymore. And we call that insulin resistance. Okay, so now it's camping out inside of the liver, which we call fatty liver disease. So that's also a sign that your sweet tooth is killing you. Number 3, high blood pressure. Okay, again, once your body gets to the point where it says, because it's important to know that if it's not natural sugar, it is a toxin. So your body will get to a point where it says, no, I won't take this inside of the cell, because the glucose or the sugar is designed to be chaperoned inside of the muscle cell by insulin. And when it gets to a point where it's like, look, brother, we ain't got no more room in here, because the muscle starts to act like a bouncer at the club. And it's like, no, we don't got any more room. The door's closed. And just imagine a line piling up outside. Okay, that's what happens, when you get to a certain place. Now, here's what's unfortunate about that. Not only does it back up in the liver and start to create fatty liver disease, but it backs up into the blood and elevates the blood sugar. That makes the blood very thick and viscous. That increases the pressure, okay, inside of those blood vessels, leading to high blood pressure, okay? Number 4, cavities, okay? The interesting thing that I've found in my travels is when I go around the world and I'm able to go into these populations who eat virtually no processed food, they eat everything natural, they have very little cavities. As a matter of fact, their teeth look perfect. Their teeth are straight. Their teeth are all there. Their teeth are mostly really white as well too. And it's all as a result of not eating processed food, but most importantly, not eating a lot of sugar. That sugar will kill the good bacteria in your mouth, because you have a microbiome in your mouth as well too, but it kills that good bacteria and it makes the bad bacteria in your mouth grow. This is what leads to more plaque, okay? This is what leads to the plaque being sticky, so then particles stick on the teeth and the gums. And this is what leads to that bacteria eventually creating a cavity, okay? But hugely important is the more sugar you eat that is not from nature, it will create cavities. Now think about this. If sugar can bury a hole through your teeth, the enamel of your teeth, then what could it do inside of your blood vessels? Think about that one. All right. Number 5, acanthosis. Okay, what that is you'll notice in wrinkles, you'll notice a lot of people, when you look at their necks or you look at the folds of their body, maybe some rolls on the side, you'll notice that it'll start to look very dark. It'll start to look very rough and dry. And that is called acanthosis. Okay, now what that is a sign of insulin resistance, because there's so much sugar in the body, as I was mentioning before. So that's actually a sign of diabetes. Okay, so again, how your sweet tooth can manifest as dis-ease in the body. And not only could it make the folds of your body very dark and wrinkled and rough looking and dry, but it also can create wrinkles, aging you, okay? You'll notice that a lot of people who have really bad diabetes, they look much older than they actually are, okay, as a result of this, all right? Number 6, sleep issues. Sleep issues, especially if you're waking up in the middle of the night, it could be as a result of consuming so much sugar, Or it could be those parasites and yeast that I talked about earlier, waking you up saying, hey, get me some sugar, I'm hungry. Okay, because they feed off of sugar. Okay, so it's important not to feed the beast. Okay, and to actually detox and get those parasites and yeast out of the body as well, which is why you have my detox. And it's one part of the detox is the parasite candida cleanse. Focus on getting rid of parasites and yeast in the body and correcting your taste buds so you can get rid of that sweet tooth, which is killing you and killing your health. All right. Number 7, white coated tongue. Okay. If you'll notice when you go to the mirror in the morning and you stick out your tongue and you notice that there's like a white coat on it, that white coated tongue is candida. That's yeast coming out of your tongue. And so what I would suggest is going to get a tongue scraper to scrape your tongue, okay? Just to see how much waste and yeast is on your tongue, okay? Now, that's not going to take care of the problem, okay? But what it will do is magnify the problem so you can see that there's actually a problem that you need to address this yeast in your body, this candida that's coming out of your tongue. But that's definitely a sign that your sweet tooth is killing you, okay? Number 8, gut issues. You want to kill your gut, okay? The same way I was telling you earlier, how sugar in the mouth can kill the good bacteria in the microbiome in the mouth. Well, that same sugar can kill the good bacteria in the microbiome in the gut as well too, okay? And now you end up with, digestive issues like irritable bowel syndrome and other things as well too, okay? Because it also kills that good bacteria. Now that bad bacteria can overgrow and lead to dysbiosis, okay? So it also can cause gut issues as well too. Number 9, brain fog, okay? Brain fog. If you'll notice, after eating dessert or eating something really sweet, all of a sudden you go into like duh mode. Like you don't even know what you are supposed to do next. Okay, that's what sugar does to the brain, especially the wrong kind of sugar. Okay, it creates brain fog. All right, we're on number 9. So number 10, all right, it suppresses your immune system. If you consume enough sugar, it will suppress your immune system for 48 hours. Okay, now you need your immune system, not only to fight off bacteria and viral infections, but guess what? Our number 1 defense system against cancer is our immune system. Okay, so when your immune system goes to sleep, that's when all the things that are bad come out to play, including cancer. And every day, our immune system is stomping out cancer. Okay, so you never want to give it an opportunity to invade while your immune system is shut down because you temporarily enjoyed something sweet, okay? And then the last one, or I'll call it the bonus, is that sugar lowers testosterone, okay? And when you lower testosterone, this is gonna lead to gynecomastia, which is man boobs. It's gonna lead to erectile dysfunction issues. It's gonna lead to issues with men around the issue of being able to grow muscle, losing body hair. The list goes on and on and on, okay? And this also, and another bonus would be the more sugar you eat, the more mucus your body will produce, okay? Which is a really big issue, especially with women who have fibroids and things of that nature as well too, or people who have respiratory infections, okay? It will produce more mucus in the body. Now, here's what I'll say before we get out of here. It's important to know that when you see cravings, which is a physical craving, there's also an issue underlining that, which could be emotional, could be spiritual, that is a little bit deeper than the layer of having a sweet tooth. And I always tell people who have a sweet tooth or who have a problem with always craving sweets, on a spiritual level, it could be that you're trying to put sweetness in your life because there's bitterness somewhere. So I would highly urge you to do the spiritual work and do the work around resolving some of those unresolved traumas that could be pushing you in the direction of wanting all of these sweet things in life. And sweet things aren't just sugar. Sweet things aren't just candy. Sweet things could be shopping too much. Sweet things could be overindulging in sex. So it's important to know that sometimes there's an undertone. There's an undertone that is in the emotional body and the spiritual body, could be causing a physical manifestation that lead in your behavior that leads to a physical manifestation of disease. So also look at that, because we're always trying to check this holistic picture and holistic approach around how do we heal our bodies. Okay. So until the next time, peace and blessings and Godspeed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button so you'll get a ring every time great videos like this come out. And remember, caring is sharing. So share this video with somebody you love, care about, so that we can keep this movement going. Okay? Peace.